Good evening. This is Darren and Julia with the Mental Minute Baltimore. Julia, it's nice to see you.
You as well. Thank you.
Yes, and this is something that me and Julia started at the beginning of the pandemic. And Julia is a clinical therapist with a specialty in trauma and addiction. She wrote her first book, Crossing Past the Intersection Between Trauma and Addiction. And she does have her own fully staffed practice as well. And Julia, we had some questions come in this week. And the first question that I wanted to ask you is a parent was reaching out to me saying, Darren, my child is always lying. And I'm trying to share with my child the importance of telling the truth, how I see my child and how others see them because they're constantly lying.
Right. So telling the truth is huge. And there are different reasons as to why kids lie. One of them is fear of what's going to happen, fear of being punished, or fear really, it's hard to know what that fear could be from, but it's worth exploring. So one of the things I always encourage people is that we can grow and learn from mistakes and become more confident when we tell the truth. It's really important to understand that this is how we learn and grow as people, because when we tell or when we make a mistake, we can learn and see where we need to kind of change and go differently in our direction. But the truth always comes out as well. And so I always tell kids the truth is going to come out one way or the other. It should be from you. If it's not, you're going to get probably punished more. Lying makes things worse, right? Because then we have to remember what we lied about. We have to remember who we told the lie to. We have to remember what kind of lie we told. And eventually people lose respect and stop trusting you. And that's a really big thing that can stay with you when parents can't trust or respect that you're going to be honest with them. They don't want to let you alone. They don't want to give you your independent time. Maybe you can't earn that special thing you were looking for, or trying to earn. And finally, when we are able to be honest, things get better faster, right? Because we've owned up to what's going on. We're able to make corrective actions, or we're able to kind of work through whatever comes up. And so when we were honest and we kind of admit to what happened, it ends quicker than lying and dragging things out.
Thank you for that. And then, and maybe what advice would you give to somebody as far as they say they told a lie, but they really want to tell the person the truth, but they're having a hard time to do that? What suggestions could you give to that person? Say, I know I lied to this person, I shouldn't, but what advice would you give to that person?
Absolutely. So it really depends on age range, but I think starting out with a simple role play with somebody that you trust, like, hey, I told this person a lie. I want to tell them what happened, but I'm afraid to. Can you work through this with me? So asking somebody that you trust to work through this situation with you, and role playing different possible reactions, because we don't know how anybody's going to respond. And then kind of doing what I like to do with my kids is best case scenario and worst case scenario. What's the best thing, the best reaction that you're hoping for versus what's the worst thing that could happen? Generally, we kind of blow these things out of proportion with this expectation, like the world's going to end. And so if we can kind of face that in preparation, then it makes that telling so much easier.
Thank you so much for that. I like that, practicing best case scenario, worst case scenario. Julia, like always, just thank you for taking the time with me and our community each week. I know you're busy with your practice, your family, your writing, everything. I appreciate you. And to anybody out there, if you need some additional resources, we do have resources on our Facebook page. And also I say this every week to anybody out there that's maybe going through something. Maybe your child's going through something and you need some extra help. Julia does have a practice. They do offer free consultations. She has a fully staff that's there for the community. And if for any reason she can't help you or maybe want to guide you somewhere else, she has other resources as well. And I always say this, it's okay not to be okay. Ask for help if you need it. Julia, like always, just thank you for your time and I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.